The complicated story of Jacob, Leah, and Rachel comprises one of the larger sections of Genesis and includes much information relevant to the history of the Jewish people. Jacob, the son of Isaac and grandson of Abraham, fled to his mother's brother, Laban. At the time, Jacob feared that his twin brother, Esau, would kill him. Genesis 27:41 through 46. Jacob, weary from his long journey, arrived at a well in Haran. Spotting several shepherds gathered at their flocks, he approached them, seeking information. "Brethren, whence be ye?" Jacob inquired. "Of Haran we are," they replied. "Know ye Laban the son of Nahor?" Jacob asked, hope filling his voice. "We know him," one shepherd responded. "Is he well?" Jacob asked eagerly. "He is well, and behold, Rachel his daughter cometh with the sheep," another shepherd pointed out. Jacob looked up and saw Rachel approaching with her father's flock. Her beauty struck him deeply. He walked towards her, determined to make a good impression. "Let me help you with the stone," Jacob offered. He rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered Rachel's sheep. Rachel looked at him, surprised and grateful. "Thank you, stranger," she said with a warm smile. "I am Jacob, your father's kinsman," Jacob explained, his voice filled with emotion. He kissed Rachel and wept for joy. "I am the son of Rebekah." "Astonishing!" Rachel exclaimed. "You must come to our house." Rachel ran to tell her father Laban about Jacob's arrival. Laban welcomed Jacob warmly into his home. "Thou art my bone and my flesh," Laban declared, embracing Jacob. "Tell me, what shall thy wages be?" Jacob, unable to hide his love for Rachel, responded earnestly. "I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, the younger daughter." Laban nodded. "It is better that I give to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me." Jacob worked diligently for 7 years, his love for Rachel making the time seem short. When the time was fulfilled, Jacob eagerly approached Laban. "The time is fulfilled. Give me my wife, for my days are completed," Jacob said excitedly. Laban, calmly explaining the custom of his country, replied, "It must not so be done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn. Fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also for the service which thou shalt serve with me yet 7 other years." Reluctantly, Jacob agreed. "I will serve thee another 7 years." Jacob married Leah and began another 7 years of service for Rachel. At the end of the 7-year period, Jacob married Rachel, but she was barren and unable to give Jacob any children. Meanwhile, Leah and Rachel lived together, tension rising between them. "Why does the Lord close my womb while Leah bears children?" Rachel asked, frustrated and desperate. Leah bore Jacob 4 sons, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. Rachel, feeling desperate, gave her maid Bilhah to Jacob as a concubine. "Take Bilhah, my maid, as a wife. Perhaps I may obtain children by her," Rachel said to Jacob. Jacob took Bilhah, and she bore him 2 sons, Dan and Naphtali. Leah, seeing this, also gave her maid Zilpah to Jacob. "Take Zilpah, my maid, as a wife," Leah said to Jacob. Zilpah bore Jacob 2 sons, Gad and Asher. One day Reuben, Leah's son, found mandrakes in the field and brought them to his mother. Rachel, seeing an opportunity, asked Leah, "Give me, I pray thee, of the sons of mandrakes." Leah, feeling slighted, rebuked Rachel. "It is a small matter that thou have taken my husband, and would thou take away my son's mandrakes also?" Rachel, desperate, bargained. "Therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son's mandrakes." That night Jacob lay with Leah, and she conceived again, bearing Issachar and Zebulun, and later a daughter, Dinah. Finally, God remembered Rachel. "God has taken away my reproach," Rachel joyfully exclaimed when she bore a son, naming him Joseph, saying, "The Lord shall add to me another son." As Jacob's family grew, so did his wealth. After 20 years with Laban, Jacob decided it was time to leave Laban and return to Canaan, his home country. He spoke to Rachel and Leah about the decision. "I have served your father faithfully, but he has deceived me and changed my wages 10 times. The God of my father has been with me. Now let us depart and return to my own country." Jacob said resolutely. Rachel, agreeing, replied, "Do whatever God hath said unto thee." Leah nodded in agreement. "Yes, we shall go with thee." They prepared to leave. However, before departing, Rachel secretly took her father's household idols. Laban, discovering their absence, pursued them and confronted Jacob in the wilderness. "Wherefore hast thou stolen my gods?" Laban demanded angrily. Jacob, innocent of the theft, responded, "With whomever thou findest thy gods, let him not live. Before our brethren discern, though, what is thine with me, and take it to thee." Laban searched, but did not find the idols, as Rachel had hidden them in her camel's saddle and sat upon them. Rachel, feigning modesty, said, "Let it not displease my lord that I cannot rise up before thee, for the custom of women is upon me." Unable to find the idols, Laban made a covenant with Jacob, and they parted ways peacefully. As they drew closer to home, Jacob knew that he would have to face Esau again. He still feared Esau's anger, and he sent gifts to satisfy him before he arrived. The night before Jacob crossed the Jabbok River and was given the name Israel, along with God's blessings. Years passed, and Jacob prospered. Rachel and Leah continued to play significant roles in his life. Rachel became pregnant again, but faced complications. In labor, she weakly cried out, "Give me a son, O Lord, give me another son." Rachel gave birth to a son, but the birth was difficult. As she breathed her last, she named him Benoni, son of sorrow. Jacob, grieving, changed his name to Benjamin, son of my right hand. Rachel died and was buried on the way to Ephrath, which is Bethlehem. Rachel, my beloved, rest in peace. Jacob wept as set a pillar upon her grave. Leah, now the primary matriarch, raised Jacob's children with devotion and strength. Jacob's household flourished, and his sons grew to become the progenitors of the 12 tribes of Israel. In his old age, Jacob reflected on his life and the roles of Leah and Rachel in shaping his destiny. "Leah, you have given me many sons, and through you, the promise of God is fulfilled. Rachel, your memory and love remain in my heart forever." Jacob reflected. Jacob blessed his sons, imparting wisdom and prophecy, and died in peace, having seen the fulfillment of God's promise through Leah and Rachel's lineage. Their story, marked by love, rivalry, and resilience, became a foundational narrative of the people of Israel, illustrating the complexity of human relationships and the enduring faithfulness of God. Leah and Rachel's story is one of profound emotion, deep-seated rivalry, and ultimate reconciliation. Both women, despite their struggles and sorrows, played pivotal roles in the unfolding of God's plan for Jacob and his descendants. Rachel, with her beauty and grace, captured Jacob's heart, but her barrenness brought deep anguish. Leah, though less loved, bore the majority of Jacob's children, finding her solace and identity through motherhood. Rachel, longing for children, led her to desperate measures, giving her maid Bilhah to Jacob. Leah, not to be outdone, did the same with her maid Zilpah. This complex web of relationships and rivalries added tension to their household, yet also explained Jacob's family significantly. The drama reached its zenith with the birth of Joseph to Rachel, a moment of great joy and triumph for her, lifting the weight of her earlier despair. However, Rachel's life was cut tragically short with the birth of her second son, Benjamin. Her death left a lasting impact on Jacob and the entire family. Leah, the often overlooked wife, continued to fulfill her role with strength and dignity. Her children, particularly Judah, through whom the royal lineage would come, and Levi, the priestly line, cemented her place in the annals of Israel's history. Jacob and Leah's marriage lasted longer, but eventually Leah too died in Canaan and was buried in the same tomb as Abraham and Sarah and Isaac and Rebekah. Genesis 49:30-32. Jacob and his son Joseph would later be buried in this tomb as well. Genesis 50. Jacob, as the patriarch, navigated these complex family dynamics, his love for Rachel and his respect for Leah shaping his legacy. His blessing of his sons and his final reflections underscored the deep connections and the divine purposes that wove through their lives. In the end, the story of Leah and Rachel is not just about rivalry and favoritism, but about the broader themes of love, faith, and the unfolding of God's promises. Their lives, intertwined with Jacob's, laid the foundation for the nation of Israel. Each woman's contribution vital and honored in the grand tapestry of biblical history. Through their experiences, we see a reflection of our own struggles, hope, and the enduring power of faith.